have a copy of the report. So those were our major news highlights. Remember, we're streaming live on our Facebook page. You can follow our live stream there. You can also hear me on 3FM 92.7. We'll take your comments that you post on the questions we put out on our social media pages. Up next is the big one. Welcome back. Now, Naleruku has been named capital of the newly created Northeast region. President Akufo-Addo made the announcement at the Jubilee House in Accra, where he presented the constitutional instrument which gave effect to the creation of Ghana's 11th region to the chiefs and people of the region. Led by the Nayiri, the overlord of the Mamprugu traditional area, Na Bohigu Abdullahi Mahami Sheriga, the chiefs and people were excited as they settled for the historic meeting. Minister for Regional Reorganization and Development, Dan Boche, lauded the efforts of stakeholders who charted the course of history. Spokesperson for the Nayiri, Idana Zakaria, reiterated the need to accelerate the pace of development to ensure the youth stay in the region. President Akufo-Addo expressed government's resolve to promote equitable development.
As contained in the President's 2019 budget, a seed capital of 20 million cedis has been allocated for each region to aid in its smooth takeoff. Government will make sure that the desire for growth and progress, which was the underlying reason for the vote for the creation of the Northeast region, is met.
The President later signed the document of attestation and officially presented it to the overlord of the Mamprugu traditional area. Meanwhile, the Minister of Regional Reorganization and Development, Dan Boche, has given the assurance that heads of various departments will be spread across the various towns to promote equitable development. He spoke with our presidential correspondent, Nana Kweku Edria.
When Naleruku was mentioned as a capital, people were excited. In other places, there are people who are agitating. Are you worried about the agitations of the region?
Sure, even you, the media, right from 2017, when we were even starting this whole process before the Commission for Inquiry, people were rather asking of where place will be the capital. And it will be interesting, the day you visit my office, you will see people apply for capital in 2017, when even the Commission have not been informed. So people get excited about these things. So it's expected that some people will be happy, others will not be so happy. But Mr. President said it, that there will be equitable distribution of resources and projects. Again, we will expatiate it further. All centers of governance structures will not be at the center. Like presently, we have regional hospital in the regional capital. We have regional education director in the regional capital, regional agriculture officer in the regional capital, everything in the regional capital. Even if there's a polytechnic or university in the regional capital, it will not happen in these 6 regions.
Right, and still related to this, some youth, irate youth, have set ablaze the MPP's constituency office in Salaga following the announcement of Damongo as the capital of the Savannah region. The rampaging youth chased out the constituency chairman, claiming that they are disappointed by the present decision to name Damongo as the capital of the newly created Savannah region. Right, let's quickly get onto the telephone lines. DSP Yusifa Mohammed Tanko is a Northern Regional Police Public Relations Officer joining us now. Good evening, sir. Thank you extremely for your time. So, are you able to tell me what you've picked up as information what you picked up to be the reasons triggering this action?
Yeah, thank you very much. Good evening to you and good evening to your viewers as well. Yeah, this evening we had information from Salaga to the effect that some youth went on rampage simply because they didn't understand why Damango should be chosen as the regional capital ahead of Salaga. And they set the MPP party office in the district on fire. But the situation has been brought under control. We have sent police reinforcement, and they've been able to quell the situation as we speak. And we are calling on all the youth, especially those who went on rampage and caused the commotion, to desist from that, because the decision has already been taken. There's no way that decision is going to be reversed. And we are also going out and make sure that anybody who was part of the disturbance and who could be identified is arrested and made to face the full rigors of the law.
Right.
We are not going to sit aloof and allow the youth to do what they intend to do, especially as it is unlawful.
Right. So, DSP, have you made any arrests yet? I mean, I see that videos are going viral on social media and traditional media channels, and these people in the videos, they're clear. I mean, it's not difficult to arrest them.
Yeah, initially our preoccupation was to ensure that we brought the situation under control, after which we will go after the perpetrators and have them arrested. Some persons have been identified to be part of it, and we are taking steps to ensure that those ones are arrested, and it will serve as a deterrent to others who would like to follow suit in future.
Right, DSP, we're grateful for your time. Thank you very much. DSP Yusuf Mohammed Tanko is a Northern Regional Public Relations Officer. Let's quickly get on to Skype now. Dr. Usman Damba is a development expert, is joining us on Skype. Doc, good evening, and thank you extremely for joining us. What we're hearing in the violence we're hearing in Salaga and the agitations we've had from Wale youth who were all agitating one way or the other about the siting of the regional capital anywhere apart from their preferred choice. Are these indications that things are getting a bit erratic because perhaps the security agencies didn't anticipate that these pockets of violence would be experienced?
Yeah, thank you, and good evening to your cherished viewers. As you've indicated, I mean, we foresaw that, I mean, naming the various regional capitals will bring about some level of disagreements among those who might have seen themselves not to be winning in terms of where their interest lies. But then, like we earlier on stated, I mean, it's up to the regional capitals, it's up to the government, it's up to the traditional leaders to quickly go around and see how they can rally those who, as it is, I mean, saw themselves to be losing out in terms of their priority or their interest in, as far as the regional capital selections are concerned.
And so now the assurances have been made by Dan Boche, the Minister for Regional Reorganization, that development will not be centered at one place like it has been in most of our the other regions we have in Ghana. Do you see this as the most effective compromise position under the circumstance for those who are agitating?
Of course, is one thing saying, and the other thing putting into practice what has been stated. We are all looking up to the government to actually see how quick that can happen, how quick the various natural resources can be equitably distributed among disgruntled communities, among disgruntled, so to say, regional capitals. And when that is effectively done, then we can all say that, I mean, what was stated by the Minister for Regional Integration is actually, I mean, put into practice.
I know that these pockets of agitations and what we've seen, the burning down of the constituency office in Salaga, are actually fueling the arguments by those who are opposed to the creation of new regions who are saying that creating new regions does not necessarily spur development and growth in these areas. So let me bring you back to the basic question everybody has been asking. Was the creation of the new regions a good idea? Right, I think we lost Dr. Damba on Skype, but we will get back to Damba pretty shortly. But let's take you through some of the breakdowns of what's happening in some of these new regions. We start with Northeast region, which was created by the constitutional instrument CI 116 and it is Ghana's 11th region. The capital we already know now is Nalerigu, and Nalerigu appears to be the largest town in the East Mamprosi municipality, although we are told that other cities within that same place had better development, like Wale Wale, for example, had better development than Nalerigu, but Nalerigu has been chosen, and that town is going to serve as the traditional capital of the Mamprosi people and the seat of the paramount chief, the Nairi. Alima Mahama is MP for the Nalerigu Gambaga constituency. So those are snippets of information about the Northeast, and also we're looking at the districts and municipalities in that region. We have about six here. We have the East Mamprosi municipality, we have the West Mamprosi, Bonkurugu, Nankpanduri, Nyonyo, Mampurugu, Mwakduri, Chereponi district, and the caretaker minister is going to be Salifu Sai. Let's quickly go back to Dr. Damba and continue our conversation. Doc, so I was asking a key question that the pockets of violence we saw, the burning down of the MPP office, seem to be fueling the argument by opponents to the creation of the new regions, that creating new regions doesn't necessarily bring development. So, and I was asking you now that under the circumstance, do you think that the creation of the new region was a good idea at all?
Yeah, I think creation of the new region was a good idea. At least it will enhance governance at the local level. It enhance the kind of decentralization we've all been vouching for. But then, like you stated, I mean, it's one thing creating the region and one thing realizing the very national development agenda we are trying to pursue. In terms of those who have been in the disgruntled youth who have been in party offices and that stuff, of course, it all boils down to the selection of the regional capitals. I mean, people are of the view that their choices in terms of the selection was not adhered to. So based on that, they are disgruntled. They felt that, or they felt that they've been disappointed as far as their interests is.
Right. Thank you very much, Dr. Osman Damba. We're grateful for your time, and let's quickly go back and wrap up with our the data we have on the regions. So let's come now to the Savannah region, where the capital we know already is Damango. The region, just like the previous one, was created by CI 115. And it becomes Ghana's 12th region. Damango is the capital of West Gonja district, and that's where the overlord of the Gonja kingdom, the Yagbonwura, resides. Damango is also the capital. It's the biggest town in the constituency, and the current MP is Adam Muta Wakilo. Damango boasts of key tourist attractions like the Mole National Park. And then we have the Savannah region. Savannah region has 7 districts. You can see here: West Gonja, North Gonja, East Gonja, Northeast Gonja, Central Gonja, Bole, and Sola, Tuna, Kalba. And the caretaker minister will be Salifu Said. Seed capital of 20 million has been budgeted for development in all of these region. So this is just a breakdown of districts, municipalities, and attractions that exist in the new regions that were whose capitals were announced today. So on that note, we'll take a break, and when we return, we have more news for you. I'm Stephen Enti. This is News at 10. You can still follow us on our Facebook page. Hear me on 3FM 92.7. We'll be right back. And an Accra High Court, presided over by Justice Abudakbi, has adjourned to March 4 the case between the Electoral Commission and 5 Ghanaian residents abroad over the delay in the implementation of the Representation of the People's Amendment Act, ROPA. This was after lawyers for the Electoral Commission told the court that the plaintiffs did not serve them their affidavit in opposition. Let's quickly get on to Skype and speak with Ko Emisa Abraham, who is joining us on Skype. Good evening, sir, and thank you extremely for your time. So first, what do you make of the 12-month request by the Electoral Commission for the implementation of the ROPA, which is long overdue anyway?
Thank you very much for having me, Steve. Definitely, the 12th month was not something that was out of place. That is, it wasn't too short, in my opinion, for the EC to implement ROPA. I think that EC's attitude has not been that swift with reference to implementing the act.
The ROPA.
Because the court ruling was in December 2017. The EC discussed new committee in October 2018. They said the committee will start working in January 2019, present its report in May, and then by December 2019, we will have a CI for the conduct of election for our colleagues, citizens who are outside of the country. And so tentatively, you see that the committee should have started work just in about a month.
Yeah.
And so I'm wondering why the EC will now call for an extension of the 12-month period. If the 12-month period was too short, they should have acted on it by now and not wait until now for them to tell us that the time was
so you think there've been too much waste of time when they could have started putting in place the structures for implementation?
Exactly, and it is kind of understandable when you look at the controversy that was that we all witnessed when ROPA, when it was ROPA, then when it was a bill. The kind of controversy that the political parties took us all through. So yes, it is understandable that a lot of delays has been witnessed on it. But I am of the impression that immediately the court ruled, the EC should have acted swiftly. And yes, some of the reasons that the EC is giving is that it had to conduct a referendum for the creation of the new regions, which, I mean, it's an institution. Yes. An institution should be able to work simultaneously with different tasks and not tell us that I was doing this, so I'll not be able to do that. I think that the argument of the EC is very weak, but we are all looking forward to a better elections than 2016. And so if they need time to do it better, then well, we can say so, but I think that it is more of a financial constraint than just time to look at the various modalities that should go into it. Especially when the EC already set up a committee somewhere in September 2011 to look at how such elections will be conducted. They already have a comprehensive report which they can use.
Right, Mr. Agri, we're grateful for your time, although very short. Thank you very much. Mr. Ko Emisa Agri is a governance expert and a lecturer at the University of Cape Coast. Let's move on now to some other story before we wrap up. Seed technology has been identified as having the potential to transform the country's economy. At a workshop in Akunsumbo, the Minister of Agriculture, Dr. Osuefri Akoto, explained the technology is cheap and easily accessible and could turn around Ghana's fortunes.
Seed technology is a science of dealing with the methods of improving physical and genetic characteristics of seeds. It involves evolution and release of varieties, seed production, seed processing, seed certification and storage. The Minister of Agriculture, Dr. Owusu Afia-Koto bemoaned past governments' inability to capitalize on seed technology to transform the economy.
Right, we apologize for lack of sound in that one, but that's where we wrap up with News at 10. Thank you very much for your time. On behalf of the crew, good night. There is more news at 3news.com.